What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, and today I'm doing another Hobbit one because I'm not quite done building some of the viewer requests. And this is one I built a little bit ago, so some more cards have been revealed. It'll already be a touch out of date, but I want to make one promise to you. This is going to be the last of the high-budget Hobbit Commander deck builds. It's going to be it. All the remainder that I do for the Hobbit are, my promise to you, is that they will all be under $200, with several being under $100. That is my promise. And if I don't do it, y'all can call me out in the comments when it comes to the Hobbit deck decks. But this one's a little bit more pricey. Elves and some of the cards for elves in this deck do demand a premium. So now, without further ado, if you like my daily deck techs, if you like Magic for the Working Class, the deck tech series where I make decks for under $100, if you like my discussion content, anything else in between, feel free to subscribe, but only if you feel I've earned it, and only if. Now, let's get into it, shall we? So we have Thrunduil, the Elvenking. He's a 5/6 for 2 generic and Sultai, and Thrunduil has all activated abilities of all elf cards in your graveyard, and whenever another legendary elf you control enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Not bad. So this is a weird take on elves. We actually want to get some of our elves to the graveyard and won't be too upset if our board state gets wrathed once. Because then our Thrunduil will have the activated ability of our elves. So we're going to have some legendary elves in here. We're going to have our mana dorks, all sorts of things in there. But first we have Tyvar, Jubilant Brawler. He's a 3 loyalty planeswalker for 3, and you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Which is always pretty good when you want to dump a bunch of mana dorks out there and then dump more elves. You +1 him to untap up to 1 target creature, and you -2 to mill 3 cards, and then you may return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. This will help get elves into your graveyard for your Thrunduil, and ultimately for what we're going to try to aim for to win the game. Creatures. You're going to recognize a lot of these, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on some of them because we all know what some of them are, right? We all know that Beast Whisperer lets you draw a card whenever you cast a creature spell. Bloom Tender is a really good mana dork, especially in this 3-color deck. We have Circle of Dreams Druid, which adds a green for each creature you control. Deathbloom Ritualist adds mana, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. This synergizes very well with Thrunduil here, because we want stuff to go to our graveyard. We have the 1-mana Planeswalker Deathrite Shaman. Exile target card from a graveyard, add 1 mana. Exile target instant or sorcery from a graveyard. Each opponent loses 2. Exile a creature, you gain 2. We have Dionysus Elvish Archdruid. Elves you control of whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, untap it, put a 1/1 counter on it. The ability triggers only once each turn. This is really nice, not only for your regular elves and their activated abilities, but also for your Thrunduil. You can activate it to, say, use Elvish Bloom Tender's ability, and then untap it and use it to use Priest of Titania's ability to just add an absurd amount of mana, right? It's really nice. Edric, Spymaster of Trest. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. So you can draw lots of cards. Elves of Deep Shadows, a mana dork. Elvish Mystics, mana dork. Same with Findhorn Elves, right? Incubation Druid. There's a lot of dorky dudes in here. We're not going to go over all the dorky dudes. But Elvish Archdruid, in addition to being a mana dork, is also a Elven Lord that gives all of your elves +1/+1. Elvish Warmaster is whenever one or more elves enter the battlefield under your control, you create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token, triggers only once, and you can also pay 7 to give your elves +2/+2 and death touch, so kind of like a pseudo overrun effect. Izuri, Renegade Leader, he's a 2/2 for 3. You can regenerate another target elf. This will help you save some of your elves, and if he's in the graveyard, your Thrunduil will be able to regenerate, and then you can also pay overrun mana to give your elves overrun. We have Glissa Sunslayer. 1 second, friends. Sorry about that, friends. My daughter gave me a sticker from her sticker book. But we have Glissa Sunslayer. She's a 3/3 for 3. First strike, death touch, and whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you choose 1, draw 1, lose 1, destroy an enchantment, or remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. She's a really good low to the ground, like combat-based elf that is legendary, so you get the legendary effect off your Thrunduil. High Perfect Morkant, I'm glad that this card ended up being so cheap. Whenever High Perfect Morkant or another elf you control enters, each opponent blights 1. Tap 3 elves you control, proliferate, activate only as a sorcery. So if she's in the graveyard, you'll be able to do the proliferate thing. Immaculate Magistrate, put a 1/1 counter on target creature for each elf you control. This can be really good. Imperious Perfect, it's an elf lord that also can poop out more elves. Incubation Druid, we already went over. Gerard, Golgari Lichlord, 2/2 for 4. He gets +1/+1 for each card in your graveyard, so synergizing that way. You can pay 3, sack another creature. Each opponent loses life equal to sacrifice this creature's power. You can also sacrifice a swamp and a forest to return Gerard from your graveyard to your hand. With Immaculate Magistrate, dump like 20 tokens on something and then sack a creature to like pop somebody, or not tokens, counters, onto like one of your elf tokens and pop somebody. We have Kaga, Shadow Archdruid. She's a 1/4, and whenever she attacks, it gains Death Touch until end of turn, and you mill 2 cards, helping get those elves into your graveyard. And once during each of your turns, you may play a land or cast a permanent spell from among cards in your graveyard that were put there from your library this turn. We have Lathril. Everybody knows what Lathril does, but Menace 2/3. Whenever Lathril deals combat damage to a player, create that many green elves, and then you tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10, and you gain 10. And this is fine if it gets in the graveyard, because we still have Thrunduil that we'll be able to use. We have Lissalana, Huntmaster. Whenever you cast an elf, you can poop out a green 1/1 elf. We have Marlin Fey Ascendant. Whenever Marlin or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. And once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control from among those exiled with Marlin, and this turn without paying its mana cost. This card's actually really fun, and I'm planning on doing a Magic for the Working Class based on it. Then we have Marwyn. Of course, when another elf enters, she gets a 1/1 counter, and then you add a green for each mana, or for her power. We have Priest of Titania. Like I said, it adds mana for each elf. Prime Speaker, Zenithar, sacrifice another creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's converted mana cost, but on the battlefield, shuffle. Activate only anytime you can cast a sorcery. Shadowheart, you can sack another creature, draw X cards, or X is its power. Tyvar the Pummeler, tap another untapped creature you control. Tyvar the Pummeler gains indestructible. Creatures you control get +X/+X. 1 second. Tyvar then has creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. For our sorceries, we're going to have some Reanimator and some get into the graveyard stuff. We have Buried Alive to search up creatures, throw them into your graveyard. Culling Ritual is going to blow up every creature, every non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less, and then you add a black and a green for each permanent destroyed this way. Dread Returns, Reanimate. Elvish Promenade, create a 1/1 green elf for each elf you control. Jared's Order, search your library for 2 creatures and reveal them. Put 1 in your hand, 1 in your graveyard. Living Death. This is one of the big cards for this deck. Essentially, what everybody will do is they will sacrifice all the creatures they control in play, and then all the creatures that were in their graveyard will come into play onto the battlefield. That's what you do. It's a very strong card and definitely a game finisher. Triumph of the Hordes, another game finisher. Torment of Hailfire. We are able to just produce an obscene amount of mana, so it's another backup finisher. Raise the Palisades is choose a creature type, return all creatures that aren't the chosen type, so, choose elves and return all of the non-elves. We have Reanimate in here to bring back an elf if we need to. Toxic Deluge for removal, and Tristan's Command. Create a token that's a copy of target elf, or return 2 target permanents from your graveyard to your hand, destroy a creature or enchantment, or creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. Also, the art is beautiful. For instance, we have some removal with Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Beast Within, right? We also have Grisly Salvage, throws a creature or land in your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. We have Dina's Guidance, search your library for a creature, put it into your graveyard. Then we also have Elvish Ambush, create an elf for each elf you control. Galadrim Ambush is a fog that creates elves. And Heroic Intervention, permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible. So when you do want to keep your things around, Heroic Intervention is there for you. We have Herald's Horn, name elf. You might get to put an extra elf into your hand at the beginning of your turn. We have Swiftfoot Boots. For enchantments, we have Concordant Crossroads, so all creatures have haste. This card's like 40 bucks, and this is the cheapest version of it, which is frustrating. Concordant Crossroads definitely needs some reprints. Freed from the real, tap a creature to untap a creature. You can make infinite mana this way. It's very simple to do. We have Growing Rites of Itlamok, which turns into Gaia's Cradle. Pemin's Aura, this is another way to create infinite mana. Prowess of the Fair, whenever another non-token elf is put into your graveyard, you make a 1/1 elf. Ripples of Undeath, beginning your pre-combat main phase. Mill 3, then you may pay 1 and 3 life. If you do, put a card from among those cards into your hand. This card's super good and super underrated. And we also have Tortured Existence. You pitch a creature to your graveyard, and you get to return a creature to your hand, which is good. Lands, the standouts that I added in here that definitely increased the budget were Urborg, Phyrexian Tower, Susser, and Effendo, and Yavimaya, and a Triumph. So, like, with this deck, so yes, the budget is very big. There are cards like Concordant Crossroads, Torment of Hailfire, Phyrexian Tower, etc., Urborg, that rise the budget up. Please, please, please make it something that fits you. I know that if I built this deck, it'd probably be about $115 soaking wet. But I wanted to kind of showcase a maximized power. And like I said, my promise to you is that we're going to be doing some budgety ones after this one. Now, for the playtesting. Let's see what we got. Let's draw for turn. We got a Forest. We're going to drop this Fyndhorn Elves. Not bad. Turn 2, I'm going to drop an Island. And we're going to drop Herald's Horn, naming Elf. So, creature spells that are of the chosen type cost 1 less. And at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library if it's a creature card of the chosen type. So we untap. Upkeep is not. So we just drop that there. We're just going to put this back on top here. We're going to drop our Island. We don't need to drop Thrunduil yet. We have a slower start here. Next turn we have this. We're going to drop this. Next turn, we are having a real slow turn. We are getting a lot of lands, which is really interesting. But we have this in play. We can play our Thrunduil if we want. Shifting Woodlands. Next turn. We have Morrowind that we can drop down. We're going to play Morrowind for 1, 2, 3. And I may as well just drop Elvish Promenade, which will create 4 elves. We have an Elf Warrior times 4, which will put 4 counters on Morrowind. And we already have quite a bit of mana available. Next turn, we have Overgrown Tomb. We're going to just shock that in. And now, if we already wanted to Torment of Hailfire, we could do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Torment of Hailfire for 11. Not going to quite yet. But we just keep drawing lands, which is a real big sad, friends. Look at this. All of the lands. Sometimes this happens. You can kind of see the general game plan, right? Torment of Hailfiring for 11 is pretty good early on. Let's try another hand. We've got ourselves Forests, Urborg, draw for turn. I'm going to probably play Susser first because it comes into play tapped. Next turn, I'm going to play Yawgmoth. We don't have any elves that we need to play for green yet. Next turn, put this down. I'm going to Dina's Guidance. We're going to view our library. We're going to... I think what we're going to do is we are going to put... Oh my gosh, where is it? We're going to put Marwyn into our graveyard. So that's in there. Next turn we drop a green. We're going to play Gerard. So he gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. Next turn, I'm going to play a forest. I'm going to play... Oh, I can't play Thrunduil because I don't have blue. I should have played my Path of Ancestry. But yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.